Purpose. Now this one seems so simple to me, but why is it so hard to get a clear purpose when you're working on something? I don't know about you, but I sat on teams where they're halfway through an initiative, and you sit there and you go, what's your purpose? And you ask somebody, what is the purpose of this team? And they go, I don't know, but we're just working. So, where was I? So what we do at Clay Street is we will spend a lot of time working on the purpose or the scope of the brief to make sure that it is narrow enough so the team can wrap their arms around it, but broad enough so something new can emerge. And we approach things holistically. For example, if a client's looking for market segmentation, they'll get strategy, a business model, they'll get competitive analysis, and they design on products and services. Everything is connected. We have a saying at Clay Street that strategy informs execution, and execution informs strategy. The other thing that's important is that the initiative, before we even take a session, must be actionable. And what I mean by that is we say to the organization, if you're coming to us with a big problem, you need to take that to market, or you better darn well try. And the reason for that is a team will not form. They will not form unless they know that what they're doing is meaningful as an individual, for the consumer, and for the business. Okay? They also must know in their hearts and minds, that the organization is depending on them to be successful. It cannot be a blue sky exercise. The next one I want to talk about, the threshold, is context. And what I'm saying here is create the physical environment and cultural norms that match the journey you're asking people to take. So let's talk about environment. How many of you have been charged to go create something innovative? Go do something breakthrough. And you find yourself in a fluorescent lit conference room, sitting in like coffee-stained fabric chairs, and the management slips you the brief and says, okay, go do whatever you want. Be innovative. I'll see you in 2 weeks to see how you're doing. Or conversely, how many of you have been sitting in a beautifully designed team space with colorful chairs and sunlight shining through the windows, and management says, look what we designed for you. Go be innovative. Go get inspired. But don't touch any of our core processes, and don't touch our sacred cows. They're sacred for a reason. Next, cultural norms. This is really important. The hero, as I mentioned, when they live in the ordinary world, will leave the ordinary world to go to the extraordinary world to accomplish their dreams. And for example, in Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy leaves the farm, the dull black and white farm, quite literally, and goes to the colorful world of Oz, well, she sees a lot of little people running around singing songs. She goes, okay, things are different here. I need to learn the rules of this world so I can figure out how to navigate this world. Okay? So it's important to understand the cultural norms or set them as conditions. So at Clay Street, on the very first day, what we'll do is we'll set those cultural norms. One of the biggest things for any team heading off on a journey is to create a sense of safety. Safety and support, so folks can feel vulnerable enough to speak the truth. I can't tell you how important that is to let people be able to speak the truth. We also will tell the team that our job is to guide but not direct as facilitators. They also know that the process is theirs to unfold. They create their own tools. They create their own processes to accomplish their task. And ultimately, they are the decision makers. So don't wait for management to tell you what to do. They're relying on you to accomplish a task. Mentorship. Every team and every hero needs one. And again, it's very important to have the right mentorship or guidance depending on the task or journey that you're trying to solve. So at Clay Street, our entire staff is dedicated to mentoring these teams. And we're very good at the classical techniques of facilitation, but that's not what's needed. When someone's trying to imagine the future, we had to learn how to become much better at the art of facilitating emergence, because people are discovering as they go. So it will create form that allows freedom for the team. And we study the archetypal patterns of groups and human systems so that we can understand in 3 dimensions or whole systems the patterns that groups go through. So if they're on a trajectory that doesn't look like it's going to get them there or it's unhealthy, we can intervene and get them back on the right trajectory. We're often referred to as being the banks of the river. So, is this approach repeatable? I've often been asked that, can you repeat this process? And we've actually done 17 sessions, and each one has been very, very successful in its own right. And people are actually surprised by that, but I'm not, because we're not creating a new process. What we're doing is reflecting what's already there in nature. We're reflecting the myth of the hero. We're reflecting how people create together. We're not creating anything new, anything that's not already inside of us. So, I've taken you through the 4 threshold conditions: people, purpose, context, and mentorship. And the last one, belief. I'll tell you, but I have to tell you through a story. I'll get a glass of water first. 800 people watch me drink water. Belief. When I first came to Procter & Gamble from Los Angeles, my boss, Claudia Kochka, who's a wonderful woman, said to me, "You have to go meet AG." AG is the CEO of Procter & Gamble. I'm like, okay. So she marches me up to his office, and I meet AG. And after we had the typical dialogue that you have with the CEO of an $80 billion company, AG said something to me that I will never forget. AG said, "What you're about to do is going to be very hard. What you're about to do is going to be incredibly challenging. Change is going to happen slow, but change will come." And he said, "I want you to know that I believe in you. I believe in you." And I can't tell you how important that was for me at a stage in my career when I was trying to overcome major obstacles of starting something new in a large organization. People wouldn't come to the first session because they didn't know what it was. We almost went out of business our first year. So those 4 simple words kept me going during the tough times. He had set the conditions for me to move on. So I encourage you today to find someone who's doing something for the greater good, a hero. It can be a lover, a colleague, a manager, someone you manage, even a stranger. And I want you to say to them, "I believe in you." You're setting the conditions for them to become. Thank you.